Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Did you see any accountability from Tyra in the documentary?
The words I'll use, because I'm probably the one person in that entire documentary that knows an extremely personal side to her, more so than Ken Mock. Unfortunately, I think what people saw was a very prepared television Tyra.
Yeah.
I know the real Tyra. She says it in the doc, sleeping over at my house. She hates hotels. So when she was in New York, she was at my home. Or if I was in LA, I was at her home. And there's so much that still to this day, I keep in confidence, and I will forever keep in confidence. But I say all this to say there is a very strong woman who has been through a lot. If she had brought that vulnerability and the person that I know to the table, I think the world would have been much more receptive to the human being sitting in the documentary.
She's Tyra Banks. What the fuck did y'all expect? Tyra Banks doesn't take any accountability because she's Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks is a mean girl. She's literally nasty nice. She's the worst type of mean girl. And if y'all know what a nasty nice person is, let me give you guys an example of what nasty nice is. Nasty nice are people who are usually very condescending, where, on the exterior, they seem all sweet and nice and smiling, and they try to fool you with their smile, but their energy and their vibe and the shit they're saying throws you off because they don't have any good intentions about the way they're speaking to you. They don't care for you at all. They want you to be confused. They want you to question yourself. They want you to look at yourself and look in the mirror, and they want you to feel stupid because they try to confuse you with their actions and also their facial expressions. She's a nasty, nice girl. That's the worst type of mean girl. And Tyra Banks not gonna take any accountability because it's not a secret that she doesn't give a fuck about the fact that many people's dreams were crushed. In her perspective, she put a lot of people on. And when has she ever taken any accountability in any of her interviews? I mean, let's go back to the Tyra show. If any of y'all were old enough to remember when she put models in blackface, she never took any accountability for that. She literally took it and said, I would never do something that insults my race, and if you feel that way, I'm sorry you feel that way. What the fuck did y'all expect? Tyra Banks has a very ugly aura about her when it comes to taking responsibility when people call her out on her shit. Tyra Banks will sit up there and say, oh, yeah, I remember that. And yeah, that definitely, should have been done better.
And so I say to Kenya, boo-boo, I am so sorry. None of us knew. And I did the best that I could at that time.
Tyra Banks would never take any accountability, and she would never show vulnerability because to someone like Tyra, showing vulnerability shows weakness. Tyra Banks is basically that parent that you call out for being fucked up towards you, and they hit you with that, oh, I must be the worst person in the world, or I don't even remember that, or oh, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. She's that kind of person. Because submitting to people calling you out for your shit is literally having to admit that you were wrong and that you were weak and that you're in a vulnerable moment. And Tyra Banks is not going to give the world a rise out of her. She's just not going to do that. She's too established to give a fuck about people's opinions, and you can't cancel her literally over something that happened literally 20 years ago. Tyra Banks don't give a fuck at all. And to be honest with you, I'm not surprised now seeing this documentary and all the horrible other things that a lot of us didn't know.
You remember the story with Shandy?
I do remember her story. It's a little difficult for me to talk about production because that's not my territory.
In the documentary, we were brought up 19-year-old Shandy, who was on cycle 2 of America's Next Top Model. Well, come to find out, this girl thought she signed up for a TV show that was going to catapult her career. Come to find out, production literally filmed her being sexually assaulted, and then Tyra took absolutely no accountability for it.
And I looked at him, and I was pretty drunk at that point. Everything kind of after that is just a blur. All I remember is just like remember him on top of me. I was blacked out. No one did anything to stop it. And it all got filmed, all of it. Every moment of it. Then I've passed out. Oh, fuck.
Instead, Tyra Banks not only said, well, I don't really do production, I more so just do editing. Tyra Banks is so full of shit because she literally invited this woman onto her talk show after the situation happened, after it aired, and then Tyra Banks played the fucking sexual assault right in front of her, in front of a live studio audience.
Just like, I noticed you weren't looking.
Sandy, you weren't watching that. I saw you looking down. How come you can't watch that?
I just can't do it.
Really? It brings back like all the old stuff.
Oh yeah. Like, I literally told you behind the scenes, like, oh, I've never seen it. I don't want to see it. Don't show it. You didn't respect that.
What an evil bitch. One of the first things that was addressed in the documentary was the Tiffany Richardson situation. The young girl, as we all know, that got screamed at and embarrassed by Tyra Banks on national television. Basically, Tyra Banks embarrassed her because she wouldn't read a teleprompter. And essentially, Tyra Banks and the producers basically tried to exploit this girl's story because they thought she'd be a coming of age and the perfect winner for America's Next Top Model. All the models are pre-picked. It has nothing to do with talent. It has nothing to do with who brings their A game and who has it. They're all pre-picked by the time the show's already airing. They pick who they want based off of ratings and who they like at that particular time. And the sad thing about America's Next Top Model is most of these girls thought that they were going to be booked and busy and doing well, all because someone like Tyra was attached to it, when it was all just a regular TV show. So essentially, with the Tiffany Richardson situation, Tyra Banks basically tried to look at her as, a mentee and take her under her wing and just look at her as the poor little black child that basically had to, suffer with the lights being cut off because her mom had to, get her a bathing suit, and basically her relatives were struggling and didn't have nothing. They had mattresses on the floor. And she said a lot of very disturbing and disgusting things to Tiffany when Tiffany refused to assimilate. And essentially, Tiffany even came forth and said that Tyra even went as far as talking about how Tiffany can go back home to her baby and sleep on the mattress on the floor, and so much other horrible shit that was, of course, edited out. Now, of course, what rubbed me the wrong way is the fact that none of the panel judges even wanted to admit what Tyra actually said, which tells me everything I need to know about who they are. But what's interesting is Tiffany Richardson didn't really give the cameras what they wanted. Tiffany Richardson got on TV because she wanted to build a brand and be a model, but then she realized it wasn't for her. So she self-sabotaged it because she felt as though that she was wasting her time and she wasn't used to good things happening. And because she didn't give the cameras what they wanted, production punished her for it.
Can you guys stand in front of me? I just want to say one more thing too. Rebecca, I admire your emotion right now. It shows to me that this was something that's very important to you. Tiffany, I'm extremely disappointed in you. This is a joke to you. You've been through anger management. You've been through your grandmother getting her lights turned off to buy you a swimsuit for this competition. And you go over there and you joke and you laugh. This is serious.
Tiffany Richardson, instead of giving tears and sadness and emotional breakdown, she gave them acceptance. And that completely flipped the script and destroyed the narrative they're trying to sell on television. And due to that, Tyra could not handle it. So Tyra had to put the spotlight right back on her and make her look stupid on national television. And years later, Tiffany can admit that she definitely did sabotage the opportunity, but she looks back and she realized that Tyra was just a malicious mean girl who was projecting her own insecurities and ambitions on a person who didn't even ask to carry it. Tiffany was the poor black girl from the hood. That alone is ratings gold, especially when they're trying to groom her to be a supermodel. Tyra Banks was overly invested in Tiffany Richardson's appearance and her whole entire appearance on the show because she thought that if she made a star, she'd be able to pat herself on the back. That's a true mean girl, someone that treats somebody like a project just so they can justify why they're that bitch or why they're the shit, for uplifting somebody from the dump who never really asked to be lifted from the dump. Now, what's interesting is Tiffany Richardson actually watched the documentary because her whole entire face was plastered all over it. And she literally went on a crazy rant on Instagram recently saying this: "Hold up, Tyra Banks. Let's keep it cute. You are one lying-ass, tired-ass bitch. You know how you treated me the whole time on and off camera. You was a bully. You treated me like shit and said the nastiest things about me and my son, and that is how the argument went. But y'all edited to make it look like you cared. Also, fuck the Shade Room, fuck your weird-ass fans, and fuck you, Tyra Banks. I bet you won't sit down with me face-to-face and talk about it. Also, fuck my family too. Y'all don't even defend me. I got more money helping more people than all the many top models, but that's the update y'all give about me? Damn shame. It's giving y'all still hating on little black-ass me. Tyra Banks, Ho, just let it go. It's been over 20 years. Fuck. So Tyra Banks getting dragged by Tiffany is not a surprise to me because, again, Tyra Banks is performative. She's a TV personality that has to do what she can to not let the whole public get the best of her. On top of that, let's also consider this. Many people who were contestants on the show were asked to be in the documentary, and I'll say this, I kind of don't have much sympathy for a lot of them who are upset about the fact that their careers didn't take off, because...
When I say respectfully, Tyra, you have no fucking idea how painful it has been for me. You have no fucking idea. But for you to admit to me all these years, 15 years later, I know the hell that you've been going through. I know that you couldn't even walk through the threshold of certain doors. And so to have her, a black woman, say to me over the phone that I knew you were struggling and I did nothing about it? What? You don't gotta support me. You don't even gotta like me. But don't see me in my... That's so fucked up.
I've actually apologized for the issue with Danny and what happened. That was between a rock and a hard place for me because there were agents that would tell me she will not work with those teeth. It's just not gonna happen. That's what they told me. And again, I could have just been quiet and let them handle it. But that's hindsight is 20/20 for all of us. It just so happens that a lot of the things that are 20/20 for me happened in front of the world.
Bull fucking shit. Me getting my Gap closed is not opening any doors for me. You knew what you were doing for the show. You were making good for TV at my expense.
It's a fucking TV show. It's a TV show where you have to literally get on, do challenges, and perform. One girl who was known as Kenya on the show said that there were times where she tried to submit herself to modeling agencies and they would really tell her, sorry, that's too editorial, that's too much, that literally is too theme heavy, it just doesn't give model. And I'm not surprised because it's a TV show. It's literally just another version of Survivor, another version of Fear Factor. It's just wrapped in a pretty package and a catwalk. These shows weren't going to do shit for anybody in the first place. How many reality TV stars do we know did Love and Hip Hop and they ain't shit or haven't really done much outside of Love and Hip Hop? When you're in the creative field and you choose not to get a degree or you choose not to build skills or get certifications, you are on your own at all times. You think because I'm on YouTube and I got all these fucking followers, someone's gonna fucking look at me and be like, yeah, let's put him on fucking MTV. Yeah, let's give him a Netflix show. No, you're on your own at all times. And when you can't be a creative person and survive on your own, no one's going to take a chance on you. These models could have been doing so much stuff. They could have been making podcasts back then. They could have been doing TV shows back then. They could have been auditioning for movies. They could have been doing so much with their success. Look at Yaya DaCosta. She literally was on a popular medical TV show back then. And then on top of that, she also won an Academy Award. Then we have Eva Marcel. I'll never forget when Eva Marcel was popular back in the day. She was popular because of America's Next Top Model. But let's not forget, she also is from Los Angeles. On top of that, she has people in her family who are in the entertainment industry. Eva Marcel got on the show because of her personality and because she was pretty, but what really helped stabilize her in the industry is the fact that she built solid relationships. The key is relationship management, and it's really a shame that some people never learn that, even with being in the entertainment industry. Relationship management gets you further than anything in the fucking world. This is just real world shit, like anything. Like just like how when people say you can only get a job nowadays if you fucking know somebody, that's what it is. Eva Marcel became successful off of the show, not because of Tyra, even though Tyra loves to kind of claim credit for it. Tyra gave her exposure, and Eva Marcel did multiple reality TV shows. Back in the day, she was on Wildin' Out. On top of that, she did some low-budget films. Then she did a lot of high-franchise reality television, which then led to her creating her own brand and being her entrepreneur bag. She did more for herself than being on a TV show ever fucking did for her. Like, let's be real. If you were to ask Eva Marcel, did she make most of her wealth from being in a fucking like reality TV show when she was 19 years old? She'd probably tell you no. She made most of her wealth from entrepreneurship, investments, and dating very wealthy and successful men. That's how she made most of her wealth. So when I see these girls complain and cry and get upset about the fact that they didn't go anywhere, well, duh, bitch. It's a fucking TV show. You know what I mean? Like, people in the modeling industry weren't going to automatically take you seriously because you're on a fucking TV show. Why would anybody care that you're on a TV show? Why would anybody care that you're famous because you were on a TV show? What does a TV show give you at all? Like, what does that give you? It just shows that you can catwalk, and it just shows that you just let some stupid bitch literally exploit the shit out of you and make you walk down a runway with a bunch of shit in your hand and literally cut your fucking hair and make you close your fucking gap in your mouth that you didn't even need to close in the first place. This was literally an exploitative social experiment, and most of them didn't realize it until years later. Some girls were even on the show who were one girl was even forced and pressured to do a photo shoot where she literally had to sit there and do a photo shoot where she was shot in the fucking head, even though her mom was literally shot and paralyzed from the waist down. Like, there was a lot of weird shit that they made them do for entertainment. And looking back, I can't get mad at Tyra because it did bring in a lot of ratings. Some of those photo shoots, if they kept them consistent to just catwalks and walking down the runways, most of us wouldn't have watched that shit at all. I would have got exhausted watching motherfuckers just walk down the catwalk and do absolutely fucking nothing. It would have got boring after a while, and realistically, it probably would have got canceled after the 3rd or 4th season by that time. Tyra literally fired 2 of the main people who helped her build the show. And then it led to them making novels. Then it led to them doing interviews. And Tyra got rid of them. Tyra kicked them to the fucking curb. You know what I mean? And Tyra kicked them to the curb, yet she was friends with them for many years. Tyra is a cutthroat mean girl. Tyra doesn't give a fuck about anybody that doesn't benefit her pocket and doesn't benefit her image at all. So honestly, I feel like a lot of the shit that's cracking down on Tyra is just her accumulated karma. It's a shame because for many years, people have tried to look at Naomi Campbell as the mean girl because of what Tyra has put out and made it clear. But the real true mean girl is Tyra. It was a social experiment to make these girls break down and look crazy as fuck. The same thing can be said about a show like Baddies or a show like Baddies Gone Wild. These shows you see on Zeus Network are literally social experiments. Like, I look at shows like Jocelyn's Cabaret and I see the weird shit Jocelyn does, and I think to myself, first of all, how the fuck does that benefit any of them? Like, some of these girls are models, some of these girls make music, but them getting smacked around and getting punched in the face and slapped and getting jumped, like, how the fuck does that benefit any of them? It's a social experiment meant to make good TV.
Very sincere about that too, Mother J.
Bishop! Stop playing with me, bitch. Why is you putting that shit in my fucking eye for, bitch?
I wasn't even trying
to. Bitch, why is you playing with me like that, bitch?
I'm not playing with you.
Man, get this bitch out my face right now.
And a lot of us ate it up. So that's what I'll say about that. I don't have any sympathy about the ones that are mad about their careers not taking off, the ones that are mad because they had to be prostitutes, the ones that are mad because they had to, you know, go down a dark and ugly path, the ones that got mad because they ended up being stuck at Walgreens. Bitch, you should have took that shit and you should have capitalized off of it. And some people did. There were some people who did become successful. One of the biggest models on that show was Winnie Harlow. And she didn't become a big model because of the show. She got exposure because of the show, because that's how most of us, if not how I know her. And then that was about it. She was able to flip her success into other things. Tyra isn't walking down some of the runways that she's walking on. Tyra didn't open up those doors that she's going through. Tyra just gave her exposure and she was able to flip it. Because I'll never forget when Paris Hilton said that it doesn't matter what you have, it's all about what you do with it.
What do you say to people who say you've had it easy because you came from money?
I could totally understand people saying that, because of course I'm very privileged that came from a family where I've been able to learn so much from such incredible businessmen and women, and coming from my last name as well. But I've seen a lot of other people who come from prestigious families, and a lot of them don't do anything. Like, a lot of people I know, like, they just get like an allowance from their parents still. They've never worked a day in their life. And I've also seen just how unhappy they are, because I feel like they have no fulfillment in life because they are just handed everything and they've never had to work for any of it.
So it's kind of difficult for me to feel bad for these girls who didn't get actual substantial careers. And then for people mad at Tyra, I mean, like I said, Tyra is a fucking nasty, nice, mean girl. She's the worst type of mean girl. She's a bitch. Like, I hate, excuse my language, but Tyra Banks is a bitch. And she feels like she's earned that right to be a bitch because she's succeeded, and she's succeeded in a predominantly white industry that's ran by men. So, of course, Tyra Banks has that energy and that aura of being a complete bitch. because she doesn't feel like she has to be nice. Tyra Banks is one of those people where she feels like being nice doesn't benefit her at all. Being open, being positive, being transparent doesn't benefit her because she's an A-list celebrity. She's mentally and emotionally detached from being a celebrity since she was a young girl in her 20s. Let's not forget that some of the stuff she was doing, some of the stuff she was saying, some of the stuff that she was doing to break down these girls' confidence and put them in check for TV, she was doing this stuff when she was 24, 25, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 years old. Let's not forget Tyra Banks is fucking 50 years old. By the time you get to a certain age, your personality and your belief system is already cemented in you. Are we really surprised that someone like Tyra Banks won't take accountability for calling bitches fat and calling bitches gap tooth and calling bitches out for calling her out or outshining her? You can't really be that surprised at her antics. So the only thing that really shocked me about the documentary is the fact that she wanted to sit up there and say, be ready for cycle 25. I'm not watching that shit. I'll be honest with you, I'm not watching that shit at all. It's not going to be the same, and I feel like we don't have to reboot every fucking thing. So I won't be watching that shit if it does come out. And let's be real, there's going to be another documentary exposing Tyra Banks very soon. Janice Dickinson, who's another fucking mean girl who was just as nasty to a lot of these girls, she's going to be doing a documentary very soon with a lot of the cast members and a lot of the people that were on the show as well with E. And it's going to come out in March. It's going to be basically a segment in Dirty Rotten Scandals. And they're going to be talking about a lot of the evil and heinous things that Tyra did and allowed on the show that wasn't shown in the Netflix documentary. So that's probably going to be really interesting. But overall, I'm not watching that new fucking cycle. I don't fucking give a fuck about the fact that she was mean to, what's his name? Mr. Man, Mr. She, Mr. He, She. And then that other dude, Mr. J. Manuel, who's only mad because he got replaced and thrown to the curb.
Seeing Tyra's reaction to being asked, is she ready to speak about what happened between her and myself?
Can we talk now about what happened with you and Jay?
I should call Jay. I don't want to do this
keep it to
here.
yourself.
Yeah.
My phone number's the same. She knows it. I have not gotten a phone call, but I don't think I will get that phone call, to be honest with you. And I'm not expecting it. In Tyra's world, and this can speak to everyone in Tyra's world, you don't leave Tyra. Tyra leaves you. If I never spoke with Tyra again in this lifetime, I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with it. I don't need it.
Do you miss the friendship?
I don't.
Overall, that's my thoughts on everything. And give me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's that. Choice out this bitch.
You will always be. I say fire to the rain, watch it burn, I right away. In this turn, and I say fire to the rain, watch it burn. I set fire to the rain. That's all y'all get for free, and I don't even know the lyrics. Y'all have a good one.